So hey Jacob,
What's up?
we're here again. We're going to look at the organ 3, right?
That's right.
So let's get to it.
All right, so this is exciting. Everybody is like so pumped that the organ 3 is back, and the legacy of the C2D, of course, is a great one, and this improves upon it in a really big way. There's lots of cool new things that have gone into it, which, and I should say, is still a prototype, so it's going to continue to get better before its release. One of the things that when you just sit down, seasoned players will know, everything is where it's meant to be, right? The rotor speed has now been lowered down here next to where the attached accessory for the half moon switch will go. Again, just like the vintage tone wheel organ, it's in the right place. Vibrato chorus on the left, percussion on the right. So anybody that sits down, that's familiar with B3s, you're a seasoned player, you're going to feel at home pretty fast. Now, one of the other new things that Nord's been working very hard on is the rotary speaker. So they've done a lot of work capturing impulse responses of the vintage speaker, a real one, from 360 degrees around from every angle they can. And that's given them the ability to do a very accurate representation of the rotary speaker. It's so spacious, it's got so much depth, and again, it's going to continue to get better because they're still in their workshop in Sweden working on this and figuring out new ways to mic the speaker, get different perspectives. One of the cool things about that is it's giving you mic position options. Right now there are 3. I hear there could maybe be more when it's finished. And some of the players that have been playing here on the Nord stage, like Kevin Powell, really love this feature. They're all talking about this as being one of their favorite things. Next to that, you have drives, 3 drive types. Of course, the knob there for the drive. For the different amp models, there's the addition of a British amp as well. That's something that's new. Next to that, another new thing, the bass model. So you have a TR synth, Synth 1 and Synth 2. These synth basses are a new addition. The Synth Bass 2 is editable, so just like with all the other Nord systems, shift and then a quick click if you're on Synth 2, and then it'll be able to let you edit that. Going over here, similar interface that you'll see on a lot of the other Nord models. You have your programs here, all of your empty slots that you can use to store your own presets. Moving on, modulation now, so you get phaser, tremolo, ring mod, flanger, and chorus for that, and a rate and amount knob. So definitely a modern offering on a B3, but it's allowed and it sounds great. Equalizer next to that, delay, full delay section, and then reverb, kind of like with the Piano 6 and now the Grand 2, all of them are starting to get the same kind of upgrades and features. So you have the addition of a spring reverb as well. Then the Cathedral with the chorale. Pitch modulation option is really beautiful. There's a pre-rotary option as well for reverb, so you can have pre or post-rotary. That's a nice thing to be able to do. Percussion. So you might know, and I might do a little demo of this, that with percussion, haha, got a little phaser on. I hadn't tried that yet. That was fun. So to get attack on every single note, you have to play pretty staccato, because if you were to, it's not going to necessarily attack on every single note. But if you do shift and you decide to put poly on, the poly will actually give you the ability to be able to sustain, and you'll still get the re-attack of that sound on everything. So then with poly on, there it is. I had to go to program so I could be in manual mode, but you can hear the difference. So here's without poly on. So we're really just hearing the percussion on that first note, even though I'm sustaining. But with poly, I'm getting percussion on every note. So that's, again, that's not something the original B3 could do, but for players with maybe a slightly different technique, that's a cool little feature to add, something to have. You have, of course, upper manual A and B, and then also lower manual A and B for the bottom. And you have either the select buttons here for the different drawbar settings, however you wish to do it, but you can also change those here, drawbars. You can see it's changing. So easily customizable and really easy to just, these feel great. As always, felt great on the C2D too. But you also have the addition of LED faders for this. So it feels really great, really easy. Those players that just want to get on those drawbars and go nuts, it'll put you right at home. You'll feel great about that. A couple other things just before we go. With the bass model, there will be the option to route it separately from the rest of the organ. This is something that I think a lot of players that play live will be very into. So say, for instance, you want to route the bass separately for your front of house guy. So maybe he wants to mix the bass and the organ separately. You can do that. So there's the aux out as well as the stereo left out. So you'd be sending the main organ through the stereo, and then the bass would have its own output. That's really, really nice. Speaking of the bass, we can go to the floor and show the Nord pedal keys. So we had the Nord pedal keys 27. This is the 25 now. There's been some additions to the actual pedals themselves. They feel really great. Players here at Namm are already responding well to it. You have the expression pedal. There's going to be two versions of it that have different sweeps to them. What I hear is one will probably be better for players that like to stand, another one for seated players. So you have two options for pedals. This one here is the expression. You can see the kind of range you have there. Now with the pedal keys 25, it can be powered by MIDI, or it has a DC power, but it is bus powered from MIDI, which is really cool. And essentially it's just a big MIDI controller. So anything that's MIDI compatible, you could use this with. So that's really nice. Yeah, I think maybe you want to hear a little bit?
Of course, yeah,
All right,
I think we
let's
should
do
hear it.
Yeah, let me set something up here. So you have presets, and I'll just go through some just to give you a sense of not just the B3, which of course is a favorite, but the Vox and Farfisa, and there's two pipe organ sounds as well. So. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think that's what happens when you try to do a lot in the morning.
Once
There we
again.
go. That's
Thank
it.
you very much.
Of
Thank
course.
you, Jacob.
No
See you
problem.
next time.
See you next time.